Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I am going to be going over adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials. So first we're going to talk about adding, then we're going to do subtracting, and then we're going to do multiplying. So it's not all at once. So this example goes a little bit better when we're in class, but I want to give you as much of what we do in class as possible on these videos. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the example without the extra participation I usually get in class. So, the best way I can come up with to represent adding polynomials is through fast food. So, when you go to a fast food restaurant and you order, you will order certain things, and they're usually shortened up into series of letters and stuff that are a close representation of what the whole name of that is. So if I could spell, that would be great. Let me stop talking and writing. Okay, so let's say that I come to this restaurant with my family, and we have this menu to order from. So I have a double, a single, fries, and a drink. When the cashier takes my order, it goes into the system as I'm saying it, and then the system takes it and compiles it into an easy to understand way for the kitchen to be able to make and cook our order. So, excuse me, if I'm going through the drive-through, usually one person collects everybody's orders and orders it, each meal separately. So that's what we're going to do. So let's say I drive up to the drive-through and I want a double cheeseburger and 2 fries and 1 drink. Okay, so that's my part of the order. And my husband, he wants 2 double cheeseburgers because he's hungry today and a drink. And let's say Kayla wants a double cheeseburger and a fry and a drink. And Amanda wants 2 cheeseburgers, a fry, and a drink. Okay, so that's how the order is placed, and that's how it's taken. So when we get our order and the kitchen gets it, they take this big long order and compile it down into the smallest, simplest form they can. Okay, so what that means is I have to start with the most complicated thing to make. The most complicated thing to make is going to be my double cheeseburgers. That requires the most stuff. So I look for all of my C2s because that's, or C to the second powers, because that is what's the double represents. So I have 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. So I have 4 double cheeseburgers. I'm going to cross those off my list because I combined all those. Okay. Next, I'm going to go to the next complicated thing to make. That's going to be just a regular single. Okay. I only have 2 of those. So I'm just going to write plus 2C. Then I'm going to compile my fries. So I have 2, 3, 4 fries. So I have 4 fries. So I'm going to cross those all off my list. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 drinks. So that's plus 4. And this right here is what my kitchen's going to get, which for us is our answer or the simplified version of this polynomial. This is a super long polynomial. You will not be dealing with polynomials nearly this long, but that's how it works, okay? So you look for the same variable with the same exponent, and you take the numbers out front and add them up. That's all you do when you're adding polynomials. So let's look at a couple more examples that don't have to do with this situation. They're more of the problems we're going to see. So I have 5n plus 3n to the 4th plus 6n minus 8n squared minus 4n to the fourth. So with this one, we're going to start with our highest degree or our highest exponent. We always want to start with our highest exponent. So my highest exponent in this is 4. Okay, so I have positive 3 and negative 4. Positive 3 plus negative 4 is negative 1. So I get negative 1n to the fourth. And those cancel out. So now I go to my next highest degree or my next highest exponent, which is 2. I don't have anything else to combine it with, so I just write that down. So I write minus 8n to the second. And make sure this minus goes with this 8. Okay, this minus goes with this 8. Okay, so that's gone now. And last I have just n, or it has a degree of 1. So I have 5 and 6 is 11n. So that is my polynomial simplified in standard form. Okay, standard form means that it goes from highest to lowest on your degrees. So next one, we have negative 5x to the third plus 2x squared plus 5. I wrote the wrong problem down, I'm sorry. Let's go back on that one. So I have 2d to the fourth plus 9d to the third minus 8. We got a little lag there. So I have 2d to the fourth plus 9d to the third minus 8 plus 7d to the third plus 6d to the second plus 4. Okay, so again, we start with our highest degree. So my highest exponent that I have is 4. So we write 2d to the fourth because there's nothing else to combine it with. Then we look at d to the third, so I have 9 and 7. So 9 plus 7 is positive 16, so I write plus 16d to the third. Then my next highest exponent is d to the second, so I only have plus 6d to the second. And then I have negative 8 and positive 4, which is negative 4. And that is my simplified version of that polynomial. So, excuse me, that is adding polynomials. Next, we're going to talk about subtracting polynomials. So subtracting polynomials is very similar to adding. You just have to add a step at the beginning. So if I have 6c to the second minus 8 minus 5c to the third plus 3 minus c to the fifth, what we're going to do is we're going to take this negative in the middle and we're going to turn it into a positive. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're going to give the negative to everything in the parentheses. So we're going to distribute that negative. So anytime you multiply a number by a negative, it just flips the sign. So we're going to flip all of our signs. So this positive 5 becomes a negative 5. This positive 3 becomes a negative 3. And this negative c to the fifth becomes positive c to the fifth. And then we're going to treat it just like we did our last problems. So we start with our highest degree, which is c to the fifth. So we have c to the fifth, because that's the only one we have. My next highest degree is c to the third. So I have minus 5c to the third. Next highest degree is c to the second, and it's positive 6, so I write plus 6c to the second. And then last I have negative 8, and remember we changed this to negative 3. So negative 8 and negative 3 is negative 11. So that is the simplified version of that polynomial. And next problem, we have negative 5x to the third plus 2x to the second plus 5 minus negative 2x to the second plus 3x minus 4. So again, I'm going to change my color to red here. We are going to take this negative and we're going to turn it into a plus and give it to the second parentheses. You only have to give it to the second parentheses. The first one you leave alone. So we're going to change this negative 2 into a positive 2. We're going to change this positive 3 into a negative 3. And we're going to change this negative 4 into a positive 4. And then we go through the same process like we did with adding. So start with your highest degree. My highest degree is 3. So I have negative 5x to the third because I don't have any other 3's to combine it with. Then I have 2x to the second and positive 2x to the second, and positive 2x to the second gives me 4x to the second. Then we have negative 3x. There's no other x to combine it with, so I just put minus 3x. And then positive 5 and positive 4 is plus 9. So that's my simplified polynomial. So next thing we're going to talk about is multiplying. So multiplying polynomials is fairly simple. You're just multiplying and adding. That's all you're doing, really. So when I give you something like 7x times x plus 4, like this you're just going to use the distributive property on. You guys should be familiar with the distributive property. So we're going to distribute 7x to everything in the parentheses. So 7x times x means I'm going to do 7 times, remember there's an imaginary 1 in front of that x. So 7 times 1 is 7. And x times x means I'm going to add my exponents. They each have an exponent of 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. So I get 7x to the second. And then 7x times 4, I just do 7 times 4 is 28. And because the 4 doesn't have an x, I just keep the x from the 7 behind it. And that's it. So next one, I have 3m to the second times 10 plus m. So I'm going to distribute 3m to the second. So 3 times 10 is 30. And I keep m to the second. And then 3m to the second times m is going to give me plus 3m to the third. But this problem is not done because it's not in standard form. So to put it in standard form, I just take these two and kind of flip them around, like switch them around like tiles. So we're going to put 3m to the third up front plus 30m to the second. And that is my simplified version of that in standard form. So the next thing we're going to talk about is FOIL. So FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, last. So we are going to use FOIL when we have two binomials being multiplied together. So binomials are polynomials with two terms. So like this problem here, 3x plus 2 times x plus 3. We're going to use FOIL on a problem like this. So first is 3x times x, which is 3x to the second. Outside is 3x times 3, which is plus 9x. Inside is 2 times x, which is plus 2x. And last is 2 times 3, which is 6. So we're not done at this point yet. We have to combine our like terms. So I have 3x to the second, and that's the only one. I can't combine those. Then I have 9x and 2x that I can combine. So I get plus 11x, and then I'm left with plus 6. And that is the simplified version of that problem. Next one, I have x minus 1 times 2x minus 2. So again, using FOIL, x times 2x is 2x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. And negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2. So 2x to the squared, 2x to the second, I only have one of, so I write that down. Then I have negative 2x, and negative 2x is negative 4x. So those are gone now, and I'm left with plus 2. And last problem, we have 6p plus 8 times 5p minus 8. So again, we FOIL. 6p times 5p is 30p to the second. 6p times negative 8 is negative 48p. 8 times 5p is plus 40p. And then 8 times negative 8 is negative 64. So we're going to combine our like terms. So I have 30p to the second. Negative 48 plus 40 is negative 8p. And then we keep minus 64. So that's all for this lesson on this video. If you have any questions or notice any quality problems or anything like that, please let me know so that way I can fix it on my end. I appreciate you watching, and if you have any questions, let me know. Have a great day. Bye-bye.